Hey kids, welcome. It's Mark Miller here, your favorite morning coding DJ. That's my new title.
Coding DJ, I like that.
Yeah, and you know my my sidekick, trusty sidekick, Rory's out there with us. Many people argue that I'm his sidekick. He's the guy running the show. But you know, we'll see what happens. What'd you say?
Could be Fred just telling us both what to do.
Could be Fred telling us both what to do. It could be. Let's switch locally. Cool. Got control of that. There's my machine. So what are we going to work on today? We're working on TaleSpire targeting. And I created a set of buttons on the Stream Deck. Let me load that up for you here.
Did you discover at all what the problem was that we were encountering yesterday? There was an issue that actually caused TaleSpire, I think, to almost crash out entirely when we would do things in the wrong order.
Yeah, I found what appeared to be a workaround that worked around it most of the time. So basically, it's just a sequencing of, you know, when to basically prod and ask the questions that we needed to ask. So I kind of did a little bit of waiting on that. And the worst side effect is that it sometimes the Google Sheets, it wasn't able to load the effect data from the Google Sheets. And I didn't investigate that, but like if I restarted and tried again, it would suddenly have it there. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but these are the buttons we created yesterday.
Yes.
Let's go switch to the second machine. We'll try it out, see where we are today. I got my volume in my ears real loud for the music. I just turned it down. Switch to machine number 2. Start up TaleSpire. I'll put you over here. Be back down there. Yeah, there's other errors that. Do you remember that error problem we had? There are other errors here. Down the bottom, you can see them there. There's something else going on. It's as if it restarts TaleSpire. It is what it seems to be happening. I haven't quite figured that out.
Interesting.
But you know that red arrow we saw, it's this new thing happening here.
The SR debugger having some form of object null reference exception, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I think that's the bigger problem is happening sooner. Okay, this is generally not a good sign. I've got an hourglass down at the bottom here of TaleSpire, and it's just spinning. Generally, that means it can't connect to something. But I'm looking at the fact that I'm moving it and can see it move means we've got a network connection.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen this before. I can't quite show it to you because it's slightly off screen, like right down there, and I can't resize or move it. I wonder if I can bring up options. Oh, I can bring up options. Where's the option? Windowed mode is on. So
Clicked. Or are we jammed a console window of some kind?
Oh, you know what? Great idea. I don't think so. Didn't look like it.
Okay.
All right, let's try restarting it again. Never seen that before.
As far as we know, no updates to TaleSpire itself overnight, should we say?
Right.
Machine.
Yeah, I took a look at their update log earlier this morning, and they just were talking about bug fixes, but nothing released yet. It's just going to work this time? Look at that, it just works. Okay. So I'll show you where we are, and we'll kind of talk about where we want to go. You seem responsive. I'm clicking and moving to move it around. How we doing? This is loading known effects here. Those should already be done. Well, this loading known effects is where it goes out and connects to Google Sheets.
Yep.
Targeting sphere effect not found. Sometimes I get that, and I'm not sure why. Error reading Google Sheet. An error occurred while sending the request. So when that happens, we're not able to get the effects. We essentially are forced to I think, restart is the workaround on that. So it makes sense at all to show you. If I hit the targeting mode, it looks like this, so that we don't see the outer piece. I can hit the set method. That drops one of these and then turns off the light. Drops the light. Cleanup cleans it all up.
Yep.
That's kind of where we're at. Try one more time. And it's yesterday when we saw this happen, it was just like, okay, well, let's try again. And we started right back up and it was like, oh, I got the Google Sheets this time. It's doing it at the end of the load process. So after all of the minis are starting to drop, that's when it says, oh, okay, now let's do our stuff.
Okay, so we have utility. We have some these in the arena.
Just 1 second here. I'm jumping over to another monitor. Dragging something over. Just noticed that the chat window I normally have for OBS was not painting itself. Okay, so I didn't see if we got. Did we see the error? We did get the error. Same error. Error reading Google Sheet. Okay, we might try again. We might add some code to try again. Let's focus on that right now.
Okay. Yep.
Switch back over here.
Probably you do have Google Sheets up and running, like in a browser. That is working. Because I mean, if Google's suddenly down in, let's say, the US, then that would certainly explain that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to entertain that childish idea.
It is pretty rare that they have that level of problem.
Yeah, that's not. I think that's unlikely. I had the, I was looking at the effects moments ago before we started. If we go in and go into data, TaleSpire effects, here it comes. It's already opened up actually in the sheet right next to it too. It's right here. So there it is. I can load it up. So, okay. Happy now, Rory?
Well, happy is not necessarily how I'd phrase it. After all, it's not working, but we see that the part is good, I guess.
Don't you like that way when people say things like that? Are you happy now? Hey kids, and
Yes,
welcome
I'm
everybody.
Static with the bugs that we have.
Yeah. Welcome. I'm speaking to Rory in a passive-aggressive way. That's what I'm doing. Practicing my passive aggressiveness. Okay, known effects. We get to here, not found. This is in load known effects. Let's call them load known effects. TaleSpire Explorer plugin.
Didn't we have something specifically say that there was a Google issue rather than a targeting effects issue?
Yeah, there's a message that says error reading Google Sheet. An error occurred while sending the request, is what it says. Do you want me to find
So
that?
I think well, I'm just wondering if what happens is, so we start up and then we try and load stuff, and although we say there was an error reading Google Sheets, we just keep going anyway, and that's why when later on you try to find something from within the collection, there's nothing to find because we didn't manage to do the population.
Yeah. So let's see. The message is,
That's pretty much it, isn't it, that one?
yeah, an error occurred while sending the request. That's my message.
Reading Google Sheets.
Yeah.
Sheet. Error occurred while sending the request.
Yeah.
So, yeah, since we don't kind of hard fail at that point, we can sort of presume that whatever we were trying to do to that sheet didn't work. And in this case, that means we didn't get a bunch of TaleSpire effects.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
just keep going after that.
Yep, that is correct. So we catch the exception. Error occurred while sending the request. We might do something like this. We might enhance this by saying, hey, while that's not null, and then say that's equal to ex.inner exception, like that. And then maybe do this. And then maybe one more piece in here, which is going to be like title. And we're going to set that equal to this. Now we're going to set it equal to this right here. Like that. Maybe even go to there. And then we're going to come down here after we've done one. We're going to say title is equal to inner exception. I'm wondering if I should want to count these. Probably not. I'm just thinking I'm wondering if there's any more data on that. We're passing out the message. We're not actually sending out
That we have beyond that is probably a call stack for any of the individual exceptions, but that'll get quite heavy quite quickly.
Yeah, I think I want to do this. I want to do ex.getType. So this is going to come back with whatever the exception type is, like null reference exception or something, and then it'll say reading Google Sheet. And then we combine the title with its message. And then I think I'm going to have to do this. If not null, then we want to say that and give it do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starts to look fairly comprehensive.
Yeah, maybe come in and do that. Oops, totally wrong key out. Didn't want to hit that. I wanted to hit that. Okay. All right. So maybe that'll give us a little more data. I was also thinking about just a second call to it. So this call to load known effects comes in and says,
Mechanism, yeah.
what'd you say?
A sort of simple retry.
Yeah. So load if necessary comes in. If it's all null, then we come in and call get. That's what's going on there.
So a literal second call in this case would not do anything had it succeeded, but in case it didn't contact the first time, would actually just try again.
Yeah. Set targeting spheres here. I want to put all of this, I want to move this over to, I think I've got TaleSpire.targeting, target. So let's create a new method here. Call it load assets. Dot. And shoot. This is that separation that I have, that the known effects are on the higher level piece. Okay. I can't really do that there. Let's go back to where we were. Let's make this at least static and public. Okay, let's do one more thing. That'll force it to reload. So the invalidate is going to come in and set all known effects to null. And then when we get to load, if necessary, it'll be null. And then we'll load in those effects. So now we have the ability to call this separately from another location, is what we need to do, or is what we can now do. Set targeting sphere. Set targeting sphere composite effect. Let's do this. Let's create a new method called targeting sphere set. Like that. And then we're going to basically return targeting sphere composite effect is not null. Like that. Okay, we'll make that public. TaleSpire target, targeting sphere set. And now what we can do is when we get our command, it comes in and says, hey, get it going, do your thing. And somewhere, it's in actually modding utils, I think. Here we go. Well, TaleSpire target on. This is where we get the on command here. That's the most important one. At this point, I should be able to say, let's see, we had that over in plugin, TaleSpire Explorer plugin. Or no, I moved it to target, to known effects. No, I kept it back. I moved it back. TaleSpire. Explore plugin. It's more. It's just not out there yet. Can't see it. Are we in a different namespace? Is that my problem? Yeah, that modding Tails is this. I'm going to switch it over. I think that is the namespace, correct namespace. Yeah, okay. So now it gets it. Now we're going to say load known effects. And we might also say, hey, if known effects dot whatever method I just added, wasn't it there? Nope, it was TaleSpire dot target dot targeting sphere set, which I'm now going to change to is targeting sphere set.
Yeah, like that.
So if it's not set, we're going to try again. We'll try that at least. And what's interesting is this load known effects, we may not need to be calling it so soon. Right? It may just be that calling it later, everything's happier.
Maybe, yeah.
Also, this was another piece that we kind of needed to do. We needed to turn it on then off. This was the part of the figuring it out thing. We had to go turn on the target, turn it off, as I recall, around this time, and everything would be okay. We wouldn't crash later, as I recall. It's a little bit of tiptoeing.
Yeah, a little strange, but you know what? If it works, it works.
Do we need to change this to TaleSpire Explorer? Nope, it's already in the same unit, same namespace. I don't. Okay. Rebuild all succeeded. Switching over to machine 2. So now it's loading through all the asset packs that I've got. I'm going to add blood. I haven't done the blood one yet, but volumetric blood I'm going to add because I think it's ridiculously funny for minis to squirt out a ton of blood when they get hit. That's what I think. Loading no effects. Set target sphere. It worked this time. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
It totally worked. Okay, so that means now I can come in, hit my targeting spear button like that. Oh, why don't I see it?
Sphere, but
I think I know why.
yeah.
Yeah, I changed the name of one of the assets, but I didn't copy over the targeting dome is null. Yeah, I changed the name of the targeting dome asset because I, wanted to. Switch back over to machine number 1. Let's open up the the folders here. That, as I recall, is in R1. So let's go in here. Plugins. This is on my remote machine, and this is on my local machine right here. Which means my guess is when I distributed the changed assets, I did not. They were not automatically copied across. I think they're in here, Magic 1. So we grab this, copy it over to the other machine, place the files in the destination. Looks like that did it. Go back over to the TaleSpire machine. Start up, let's see if we can find it this time. See what our messages are. So we scroll up here. If I pause it a second, when we scroll up, we should see in the R1 group, here they are, R1, one of these I renamed to like Shield Spear. There it is, right at the end. So that, yeah, it's R1, so this looks like it was the right one to change. Okay, so let's see. Do we see the error? Yep, we didn't see the error, it worked. See what I'm talking about with regards to reproducibility? A little weird.
It's always tricky when you're reliant on external services to try and have them be stably there or not. That is a big sphere.
That's not right at all. That's like the original effect. It's funny. What happens if I change the dimension? That's awesome and funny, and I love it. And it looks like it didn't take my effect over. Let's go figure that out why.
Surly Dad in the house.
Surly. Hey, Hector HSC is there as well.
Hey, Hector. Welcome. Glad you're with us. And this is also due to early morning edits too, I'm sure. Let's go take a look at that. I may be in slight trouble for that because of this guy right here. I went and edited it, and let's copy that to clipboard, bring it into just a notepad so we can temporarily see it. Also, I had the weirdest thing that started happening yesterday, and that is my upper monitor starts doing this weird flashing. So this is kind of what I put in here, because I had to rename this piece at the top, and I thought all the values below were good, but now I am convinced they are not good. So what I want to do is I want to roll back in versions here, I think. Let's see if I can do that. Version history, see version history. That's probably from today. Let's roll back to this one. Restore this version. Yeah, let's try it. And it still says shield sphere though here.
Okay.
Right there, shield sphere. That's not quite what I want, I think. I need to go back even more. Version history, see version history. So that was this morning, so I gotta go to this one instead. Wait.
Hang on. Doesn't seem to have. It's. Oh.
Hold
Which
on.
one of those do you guess is current and what you're truly looking at based on that UI? Because that says that one of them is current and another one is restored.
Yeah, because this is, look at the time. This is when you can't see now. Scoot7 is here.
Supposed to have
Here, I have.
Quiet. How can I crank up Rory? I've got a gain right now. That's pan, effect, aux. Gain is there. Okay, I'm cranking up Rory a little bit. Rory, can you talk?
Testing. How's that? Can people hear me a little better now?
Check. I think we're both a little bit quiet, to be honest. I'm gonna crank me up just a little bit. Check. I'm going the wrong way. Check. Don't want to clip over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a weekend and totally redo my sound. All right, so Shield Spear here. So basically your question was, hey, what's going on with the different versions? I restored here, and then now here's, my current version right now. Okay, this is, if I click on these, you can see what they say here. As long as it says Shield Spear, that's not what I want, because what happened is I lost the inner values, I think. Pretty sure about that. There, I want to restore to this one that says R1 effect. So I'm going to restore this version, and then I'm going to go in and just change the name of R1 effect right here to R1 Shield Sphere. Okay. And then we can probably zoom out. I'm not sure what's going on here with my regard to zoom. It looks like maybe I'm back to 100%, can't tell. And then now let's try again. So switching back over to TaleSpire machine, switching back. The switch back isn't working. Why is that? What's blocking me from switching now? Nope, that's working. We saw this yesterday where the delay in switching took a long time for reasons that did not seem to make sense. All right, well, on the TaleSpire machine, I'm going to go ahead and do a reset on it, see if we can figure out why it's not switching. And that's the only change I need to make, I think. I'll start it back up. Once it gets started, I'll come back over and get some attention to switching. Yeah, I don't get it. So that's a switch. That's an OBS scene switch, and that worked. It's almost as if... Oh wait, it looks like it worked now. It looks like you're now seeing the second machine. Okay, I don't get that.
Weird.
It's something that's been working for a long time, and then sometimes it's like it's as if the chat channel isn't receiving the message. Yeah, I just hit it again. Hit the TaleSpire button. And it hasn't switched over. Gonna hit it again. Is this right? Is it something else? Switch to monitor, switch back to TaleSpire. I can manually tweak it. What's happening when I switch on TaleSpire is it's going to another scene and it's turning off individual sources or turning them on. It's as if OBS is no longer responding to those commands to turn those individual scenes on and off, is what it looks like to me. It's actually not a scene switch, like I said. All right, let's go to the actual page. There's going to be a little bit of a reload needed when I come back, I think. of the overlays for refreshing. Let's see, what page are you? You're this.
There we go.
What's interesting is, I didn't notice how the screen was, if we had already switched when I move over. Did you by chance notice that, Roy?
I wasn't too sure.
Okay. All right, no worries. Okay, so we're here. Now let's see what happens when I hit targeting. All right, cool.
That's better.
That's better. All right, and what's cool is I've got here's the 5 foot. It's really small. I think we were showing this yesterday at the end. There's the 10-foot diameter, 20-foot diameter, and so you can see like it goes from, if you look at each one of these is 10 feet right there. Here's if I put this right there, you can see how it lines up. This is the 30 foot. I'm sorry, that's the, what is that, 30?
That shouldn't be if the previous one was 10.
Right, hold on a second. Let's make sure everything's right. This should be diameter that's setting up here. Oh yeah, that each one of these is 5. So 1, 2, so if I put this right at the center of, I put the center of this right on where that crack is right there between the two, you can see it lines up right with the left edge. So it's lining up there, and it's 10, it's a radius of 10. So when I hit 20 foot, you're seeing the radius of 10. When I hit 30 foot, it should go out one more square. So there's 30 foot right there.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. And then going into 10 feet, we should see how it's going from each of those. That's 10 feet across. So each of these cubes is 5 feet.
So now that we know we can rely on those facts, it really does make the whole thing very much. You almost don't need the figures, because what's going to happen is someone's going to cast, fireball or whatever. They'll have a maximum range or whatever the spell is, and you can see it. It's so clear what will and will not be affected.
Yeah, I do like that clarity, right? I like being able to say, okay, you know what? I want to cast fireball here, right? And then now everything's good, right? The noob. The classic noob mistake playing D&D is you're in a dungeon with closed hallways, and you cast fireball, which is got.
The clever thing you'll be able to do here is you'll be able to say, imagine that you had, I think it's 10-foot radius, and you had some kind of offensive weapon that was going to do splash damage in that. Rather than attack the person who is closest to you, you're going to attack the one in between, in the middle, and see that the area of effect, the splash damage, heads out and engulfs the two people next to them without hitting you.
Right.
It's much more obvious that that's the case.
Yeah. No, I do like that about this. All right. So all of that is super cool. All right. So that's kind of where we are with regards to our status and all of that stuff. Let's switch back to the main machine. Let's bring up our spec creation application, also known as PowerPoint.
Yep.
Kind of take a look at where we are right here. I've got this idea of targeting modes, and we've kind of got this implemented, although there's no specific place where I've implemented this as an enum. I can change its target shape. We don't have this yet. And I think this is going to take a little more research. And the reason why is because in order to change this sphere to something else, we have to change its mesh, which means I've got to go find its mesh and replace it in some way that is, that makes sense. And I'm not sure how to do that yet. But once I'm sorry, what?
Is it that once you manage to do that, once we have a way of changing the mesh, that the effect that is on the exterior of the sphere, which I'm guessing is a material of sorts, will continue to work on the different shaped mesh?
Yes, it should exactly. That's all I need to do is, I think, adjust the mesh. A stream deck command to reactivate the drop target, changing its state back to active. Well, that's kind of the same as the one that we're already doing, which is saying initiate the targeting mode. We can take a look at that and see if that's actually working over there right now. So right now I'm targeting. I'm going to choose set, which is going to drop that. And then I'm going to go back and choose targeting again, and it should pick this up. Oops, it didn't pick it up. So that means I can keep setting these and creating them all over the place. That's not cool. That's not what I want. All right, so we got to figure that out. What'd you say?
Multi-shot. Many
Multi-shot.
simultaneous grenades.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that in general. Well, actually, that does apply for some. For some things, there's at least one or two spell effects that have a multi-shot kind of thing where you can select multiple targets. You can decide who they are. But that's something that our UI already accommodates for in the game.
Yeah.
Indicating that there's a target, that somebody has been targeted. That's like another thing to think about.
Yeah, you were talking about, and indeed demonstrated earlier in the week, the ability to sort of light up the base that a character is stood on in a nominated way.
Yeah.
As being one kind of potential way of doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm still kind of thinking about that. Oh, interesting. The characters are here. We just don't see them because this little scroll thing is down. Needs to be lifted up a bit so we can see all those characters. Yeah. I'm now starting to think, what if I just put a target on the base?
Right. So somewhat overlapping and sort of pseudo replacing their base with a target.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking about is we get all the minis within the space when we hit the set button, but there's a couple different targeting, maybe targeting modes. I don't know what to call this yet, if it's going to be mode or not, but there's a couple different targeting kinds of things that I can target. Let's just create a new slide and we'll call it things I can target.
So when you target multiple individuals, is that typically a thing which will additionally have an area of effect, or is it very, very granular to just those people I target?
It's just granular to those people you target. So there's individual creatures.
Alternative to the sphere, which shows area of effect.
Right.
This will just be multi-targets.
Yeah.
Points, if you like.
Yeah. And so so I can do individual creatures. I can do a point in space, in 3D space, with an area of effect sometimes, with an optional area of effect. Okay, because I can also just say, hey, this door is got a spell on it. And so when somebody touches the door, something happens, for example. So it can have an optional area of effect, such as a sphere, cube, sphere, cone, cube, wall.
Is there anything that would cause a persistent area of effect?
Mm-hmm.
So
some spells have for example, plant growth take place over a long period of time. So you can say, I want to cast plant growth, and you've got a 200-foot sphere, 100-foot radius sphere, and 200-foot diameter, and plant growth takes place in there for a long time.
Okay.
So that, or for example, I can say this 10-foot by 10-foot cube is my trigger for my trap, and if somebody moves into this space. And so I set that spell, but from my perspective, the targeting simply conveys the information to the spell. The spell, if it needs to hold on to the information, will hold on to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you mentioned the door, I was thinking, okay, so you cast a spell on the door. The door now has a specific shape and volume and what have you, and needs to, basically you're now saying anything that contacts the door might then secondarily trigger nasty effects on whoever it is that's touched it. Or alternatively, if you've caused a crevice to appear or a blockage of some kind, secondary effects are going to alter the makeup of the level, which would then prevent or indeed make certain things easier. In some case, maybe you've added a bridge over something, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to. I think the thing is this: I need to know if I'm targeting creatures or a point in space, right? And if I'm targeting creatures, but it's got an area of effect, after I set, I want to then mark all those creatures as being targeted. If I'm targeting individual creatures, I think I just want to tap on them, is what I think I want to do. Like I said, just kind of grab them Oh, now it's doing this thing again. Now it's happening on the left. Mouse click. Not what I want. Yeah, it's crazy. I like if this guy is here and I reach down to pick him up with the left button, it picks him up and moves him. All I'm doing is clicking. If I click here, just click.
Yeah.
That's bugging me.
Code that's confused between the idea of trying to pick him up, which is operational, but simultaneously is presuming you also clicked in that area and would like to center on it.
Yeah, it's the bug is related to whatever my shortcut is for my focus point. It says double click. Whatever shortcut I make here, if I change this to the right mouse button, like that, and then I come in here, close this down, and then now if I left click, I can move, and now if I do my right mouse button on him, if I do right mouse to double click, let's see, is it working?
No, it did just break in that way, I think.
No, hold on.
Did it not?
I'm like if I right click, so now it's working, and if I double click, it moves it, which is actually what you kind of want. If I double click here, it moves it to the center. But before I was single clicking. So I'm not sure what's going on with it, actually, to be honest. It's almost as if it's interpreting a single click as a double. But I'm going to not worry about it for right now. I do have mouse without borders kind of working with it as well. So I haven't actually tried it on this machine with a mouse just on that machine. Sure. All right, so now we got to indicate, I think where we're kind of moving towards next is indicating that a creature has been targeted. Yeah. So if I come in and I say, let's see, if I do cleanup, what happens? Cleanup only cleans up the last one. It doesn't clean up any previous ones. That's not good. So now what'd you say?
Well, the cleanup replaces a known entity, but it's only known because we stored a reference to it, and I think we're only storing the most recent one.
Yep, we only got one reference to it. So let's start playing with targeting and let's make it better. That's going to be inside TaleSpire target.
Just think about that, and I'm just for the moment imagining that little ring effect on the base. I wonder if it isn't worth having two of those. So one effect for, let's imagine you're using the flashlight kind of mechanic to select somebody. So what you do is you hover over them, you cast a light down on them in whatever sense that is. And once they are considered being pointed at by that, we light them up to say, yes, you're currently doing this. And then you click or whatever the invocation is, and that kind of locks them in. And now you go somewhere else. So you can see that you'd be expanding or contracting the sphere or the point. And you kind of like, it's a bit like if things light up because you hover, right? But they lock in because you have actually confirmed that.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, that's great. I like it. Yeah. So I want to do something like that. I think kind of what I really want to do, like I'm not going to do it here on the show, but what I really want to do is I want to have the whatever effect we attach to them to be glowing. I wanted to, if we switch back over to TaleSpire for a second, I want it to actually fit inside this ring. I've decided I don't want to use the ring. I liked the idea before, but instead I thought, oh, you know what? We can just easily put a target right there, lift it up, and have the ring still work independently.
Yes.
Right? So if I have a faction color or something like that, all of that, right? So it's like, let's not mess with the ring yet, but let's put something there, and whatever we put there could be animated, right? Mm-hmm. It could have a particle system, right? Or whatever we want. It could be in that space. So that's kind of what I want to do. Karen Chikati, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah? Great? Look like you're looking for something.
I am.
Yeah? She's looking for the snacks. The keto snacks up there. Okay, so don't fall. No accidents during the show, honey. Okay.
Because afterwards they're fine, right?
Afterwards, when I can save you, they're fine. So yeah, I'm thinking, look, we've got the ability to create this guy.
Oh my.
I say we go with that. We might want to make him by default fit perfectly inside the mini.
That would be nice.
So let's kind of play with that a little bit. She's not looking for snacks, really. She's looking for his wallet. That's what Fred said. He just bubble talked me.
It's all the same.
Hey, can you go tell those dogs they're doing a really good job defending our world against the dangers that they perceive?
Yeah. All right. Jesus. Holy bananas.
All right, Kara Mangicotti. She just grabbed like several keto snacks. That's her breakfast. Look at her go, man. All right. Let's see. What am I doing here? Going back over to my main monitor is what I want to do. I want to go look at where we build the target disk. Add target disk.
Yeah.
Here we go. What is this? That's the diameter. So I want to drop the diameter down a bit. And I think I'm just going to percent adjust. We're just going to do this until we get it right, and then maybe we'll figure out what those numbers are later. So I'm going to say let's go to about 0.7%.
Yep.
I oven baked 30 rashers of fatty bacon and a dozen sausages early on. You know what that means to me, Rory? That means
I'm hungry.
That means cheap vacations for me and wherever Surly lives. Wherever Surly lives. That's what it means. That's what my take on it.
By the sound of it.
What'd you say?
Fully catered by the sound of it.
Yeah, sounds awesome, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to drop that down by a little bit. We'll see how it works, and that'll be one of the things that we're going to work on is getting that to fit. Okay. Next, we need a way of cleaning up. We need a way of adding multiples and cleaning up multiples, I think. I think I want to add a new method in here. I think we don't really need all of this. I don't need this. I don't need that. These were all messages here to find where the bug was. And ultimately we found that it was in a call to a, it was in a reflection call to a method that somehow was failing. Okay, so let's see. Targeting sphere goes to null. Purpose for holding on to this, I assume, is to change its size. Yeah, there's the set sphere scale. So that's called in response to hitting the buttons to change its size.
Yep.
And I feel like, all right, so here's set. I think set needs to know, essentially, what's our interactive targeting mode? That's kind of what I feel like it needs to know. I feel like it's an enum. And it's going to be one of two things, creatures or Hi Tinder says, Managed DirectX was fun to learn. It's more for C++ now. I remember when it was XNA framework.
Yep, I do too.
All right, so go ahead, Rory.
Game, and I think I've headed back into SDL, OpenGL stuff since then. All kinds of fun.
So I've got creatures, point, and maybe point plus area of effect. Point, maybe. I keep adding, I keep going, because we've got sphere, we've got cylinder, we've got cube, sphere, cylinder, and we've got cone.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I recall from D&D. So that's my interactive targeting mode. Okay. So what that means then is that point and the rest of these, actually, all of these down here, only allow one target drop.
Yes.
Essentially. This can allow for multiple target drops. Okay, so let's move this to its own file. Let's have a way of setting that. I kind of feel like it's a static method that we just turn on, we just call. Like this, set targeting mode. set, I'm going to call it interactive, just to differentiate it from another thing that might become targeting mode.
Sure.
And let's declare a property with the initializer on this. And I think I actually want to call this whole thing interactive targeting mode. Okay. Now, that means when I call set, this turns off the dome. That's what this is right here. This turns off the dome. This drops target at this location.
Yes.
Okay. So if interactive targeting mode is equal to creatures, then we're going to add target to nearest creature. Otherwise, we're going to drop a target at the flashlight and turn it off. How do you feel about that, Rory?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Surly says, I think I ate six bacon and 2 sausages already. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Would you say you're hungry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've still got to cook all the food I'm going to eat. I think a plate of bacon and sausages is sounding pretty good right now.
That's why we got to do a road show, Rory, and we got to find out where Surly is and show up. We're taking the show to the road. All right.
There's a plan.
All right. Add target to nearest creature. Well, we got to go find its position. So I think it's we've got something like I have a couple of steaks and a sous vide for dinner. Surly's taking good care of himself. Come do your show from my house. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to be, I think, closer to you, man. I think you're somewhere. I don't want to be like, revealing, your personal private details, but I think I know what part of the world you're in, and it's called essentially Europe. I've narrowed
enough. We're narrow enough. We can find you with that.
I'll fly my toy helicopters in front of you. Yeah, all I have to do. Look, it's a finite set of folks I got to go look for. It's basically the ultimate game of hide and seek. All right, so I want to go to flashlight, and I want to get its position.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to say something like, I actually want to go to TaleSpire.minis.get creature closest to, and I want to pass in that. And I'm introducing a local for it. Creature, I think it's called a creature board asset is the type that I'm expecting to come back from this. Itinder says, I got stuck modeling my armature and importing the .x, .dds, .hlsl files from Blender. Built my environment from scratch too. D-input, draw in 3D. The hardest part was setting up the viewports and archball camera. I used abstract and partial classes to load my scenes too. That's cool. It's cool. I remember when I was like, pretty young comparatively to what I am now, I created my own 3D modeling world. Just like, it was slow as heck and not great. And, but it was like, mine, I built it. So it was cool. All right. Get creatures closest to, I kind of want to pass in a min radius here. Like if you're not within 5 feet of what you're shining the flashlight on, or maybe 10 feet, I want to return nothing. right
Sure.
here is what I want to do. So let's
We're
go.
not just searching forever, effectively.
Say that again.
So you're not just searching forever.
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure that we don't, because if there's nobody there on screen, or if there's, like, say for example, the flashlight says, I don't know where the flashlight's not on, I'll give you 0, 0, 0. And if, like, for example, if that were to occur, then we might find a character off screen and target it. And I just don't want that to happen. I want it to be, it's got to be something you can see on the screen.
So is that more of a max radius than a min?
Yes, it is. And clearly I've got a problem that's not going to get cured.
Well, theoretically, a min radius is also useful. If you wanted to target things, you might want to deliberately exclude the possibility of targeting things that were within a certain minimum radius.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Rays are good for that. Yeah, I don't think I was doing rays yet at this point. I did not have really lighting when I wrote this. This was like, what, an 80-something, 1989 maybe, when I wrote this, 1990. So I didn't have any ray casting or anything along those lines. Didn't have a really super powerful machine, but I did have the ability to render objects and build them. And I remember I built a giant letter M, kind of like for MTV, that was in 3D. Well, giant, whatever scale is all relative, isn't it? All right, so we're going to come in here and say we want to get all the creature assets. We want something like this down in this method. And we want to, I think we want to store, I think we want a dictionary maybe. I need to find the distances. I need to find the shortest distance. Do I just need to, no, I don't. I just need to have an instance of it, an instance of this type, closest creature. Set that equal to null right there. And then we're going to go through each of these creatures. And we're going to check to say, we're going to say, hey, if creature board asset dot do I have a base asset? Base loader dot loaded asset is a game object dot transform. So that's the base. So if the if that transforms dot local position, no, just position. If it's position, actually I need this on its own line. I need to say position minus position, and we need to declare local for that. That's going to be our, actually let's do one more thing on that. Let's do dot magnitude. All right, now there's a logo.
Just scroll down a little bit if that's possible. Bring the code up above your head. There we go.
So there's my distance right there.
Okay, so that's the distance between the two locations, the one that you're comparing with and the current creature that you're iterating through.
Yeah, so we're going to come in here and say shortest distance so far. And we're going to set that equal to float.max value. Okay. So if distance is less than shortest distance so far, then we're going to say these two are equal to each other. Pythagorean theorem helps. I don't have to do Pythagorean theorem. Just calling magnitude gets it for me. That's Pythagorean's theorem.
Yeah.
Right there.
Effectively being done inside of it. So remember, we're working within Unity to some extent here. So we have all of these, well, certainly a lot of these facilities already baked in. So that's kind of nice.
Right. Yeah, inside of their vectors.
Unity, it's a bit deceptive because obviously we're not working in Unity here.
Right.
But what we are doing is we're adding C# code to assets that are being loaded by the game, which itself runs Unity, and therefore we get to interact in that object space.
All right, so now we're going to say shortest distance so far is equal to distance, and then we're going to say closest creature is equal to that creature right there. And we're just going to go through the whole loop and try to find something closer. And once at the very end, then we're just going to simply return closest creature.
Yep.
And that should do it. Now, the only thing that we need to do is we're going to worry about max radius right here. So we're going to say, hey, if shortest distance so far is greater than max radius, then we're going to return null.
Yes,
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Okay. Well, cool. I didn't have to think at all on that. I just guessed it. Okay. So now, if not null, then we can come in and do something to it. So we've got a creature board asset. I'm just thinking about what I want the client code to look like here. TaleSpire.mini.add to base, I think. And I think I want this to be my world ID that I'm going to pass in. So I'm going to use my world ID to get this again, I think. I'm not sure if I really want to. I just know that from other places I want to call this, I'm only going to have the world ID. Here I have the creature board asset. I'm juggling in my head. Should I create an overload for it to make this easier or to make it more efficient? I'm not really worried about efficiency here. And I'm just kind of worried about having extra code that's like, wait, what? What's this doing? All right, fine. I'm going to do the extra code piece. We'll do it. We'll do it like this. So we're going to say add to base, creature board asset, and then I want to create that new targeting disk, whatever that is. Add target disk. Using left or right-handed Cartesian coordinate system. I don't know. It's whatever Unity's using. And whatever Unity's using, it's the opposite of what Blender uses. And I don't know which one's which. You can do a quick search for me, Rory, if you want to see which one Unity is. At this point, I consider the answer to that question irrelevant to the work that I'm doing right now, but let me know what I should be paying attention to if you disagree with that, if you think that's important.
Apparently it's a left-handed coordinate system in Unity.
Unity's left-handed. All right, there you go. Thanks, Rory. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're saying creature board asset, add to base. I might do this too. Creature board asset dot base loader dot asset loaded asset dot transform. And basically I want to call add target disk, passing that in. Like that.
Now, also need, I don't know if the ephemeral nature of these targets really matters too much. So, for example, they're going to disappear after the shot's been fired or whatever. So do we need to parent them on the characters such that if they happen to move, normally we might for other things, but here I think what happens is you target, you fire, you go, and there's no time in which those characters will move, right?
They can move. They shouldn't move, but the way we're parenting them, they will move. I just looked up ephemeral, and oh, there we go. Lasting for a short time. Ah, okay.
Sorry.
Ephemeral. Ephemeral.
You didn't quite pronounce it right, though, Rory.
Ephemeral.
You got to say it like this. Ephemeral, like that. All right. So, yeah, so great word. Thanks for that. Right now, so like I said, we're parenting it. The call that I'm making that says, wait, what's going on over here? Why isn't this saved? Okay, save that.
So at the moment, our targeting disks that we're adding, they're just added to the world. They exist in a fixed location relative to the world,
No,
right?
well, no. At the moment, it's when I call
flashlight, actually.
Drop target at flashlight. Yeah, we create a new game object.
Mm-hmm.
We set that game object's position to wherever the flashlight is in the world.
Yep.
And then we call add target disk, passing in that game object as the parent to the target disk. but that's what we're currently doing. When
That's right. So those disks effectively stay at a fixed location in the world.
right, when I
Whereas
call
we had to add disks to the bases of the individual characters or the creatures, and therefore, do we want them to be attached to the creature such that if it moves, the target goes with it?
Yes, well, that's kind of the way it's going to work now, is adding the target to the nearest creature, yes. Also important because in the game, other players can move their creatures around, and if they are targeted by a spell and they move their creature around, we want to see that go with them. We want to see it move with them. But cleanup, though, is something we have not really thought of yet, and we kind of need to make that work. I think the way to do the cleanup on this, add target disk. Let's see who we're calling this from. We're calling it from drop target at flashlight. What's interesting is we do this, and then we do that. We're also calling it from here as well, where when we just turn the flashlight on, and this makes it stay inside of it. What I think we should do is we should take this code and move it inside of add target disk and pass in the target position. That's what I think we should do. Maybe if I extract this and say, call this add target disk like this, now it's going to create a new game object, give it a name, which is what I want, right? And then now what I can do is everywhere there was a previous call, let's see, to add target disk, this one. What did you say? This one, now what I...
To be replaced, called to the outer one.
Right. I think, well, hold on. I want to make one more change to it, though. So I've got transform is the parent. Yeah, I think I want to change this so that this has an additional parameter here.
Okay.
Transform, call this the parent, like this as well. Drop a target at flashlight. We're going to say null for that. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to say, hey, if parent is not null, then we're going to say, geez, what is the code? It's an add cylinder. It's just simply calling that. Okay. So it's something to the effect of target disk.transform.parent is equal to parent. I think there's also a set parent method that I want to call instead, because I have a feeling it might be better than just directly manipulating the property. Okay, so now I've got add target disk here, and that means it has no parent at all. But now everywhere else where I'm calling add target disk, I'm going to replace it with
Karsh as a position and a potential parent.
Right, exactly. So here, hold on.
So the position is typically the oh, hang on now.
That's the good one. This one, okay, I totally want to change these around. I want to swap these around. If I only have one parent, so hold on. This one is called, yeah, I'm a little bit, it's confusing to me because I want to actually swap these. I want to take this.
If you make the inner one private so it can no longer be called.
No, because I'm all in the same method. I'm in the same class. Where's the other one? I can't find that one. Where's the, let me undo this for a second. Let's go find the other add target disk. Get them right next to each other so I can see them. Here we go. So what I want to do is this. I want to take this right here and do that with it there, like that. But this, in this case, the parent is the target disk. Probably target disk.transform. Like that. Okay, that's what I want to do. And then in this one, I want to then call add target disk like this, passing in the parent dot position followed by the parent. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry that took like so long to get us here. And then and so now any calls, have fun. I have to finish setting up my workstation. Decide what new text I want to learn. I really want to try out the new client-side frameworks. Great for a few years for family. Good job, man. Have fun.
Enjoy.
Take care. All right. Okay, so let's just review all the calls to this, make sure we're good. This one's only called from two places, add target disk and drop target at flashlight. Drop target at flashlight. Now this one, yeah, that's good. Because null means no parent at all. Every other call to add target disk is going to come through here, which is going to both parent it to this piece. That's what we want there too, parenting it, and putting it oh, wait, though. This, I think, is wrong.
Okay.
And the reason it's wrong is because if I've got something that's a 10, 10, 10, and I pass in its position, then this inside of it will be a 10, 10, 10. What we need essentially is, let's go look at cylinder here. That's the parent. Local position is my Y offset. Where am I getting my Y offset from? Add cylinder. That's how far up it is. So no, it's just parenting it to it. I guess we are okay with it. I thought it was going to use that for positioning, but I think we're okay. It's just simply saying this is the parent to it. Okay, so now the cool thing about this is we now have this game object called target disk now, which means we should be able to remove it as well from anybody who's targeted.
Yeah.
That's the whole point in all of this. Let's first make sure this builds. Whoops, I want to, there it is right there. Rebuild all succeeded. Okay, so that looks like the build works. All right, so removing the disks is the next key. I guess maybe the first step is let's see if this works. If we can set a mode, and then we can tap on people's heads, essentially, and target those people. Does that make it sound like a good test?
It does.
All right, so Rory says it's a good test. That means we're going to call target.set interactive targeting mode. Let's maybe do it from here. So I'm going to use it when I hit the button, the F on button.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to make it be creatures. I'm only
So to be
checking.
the F button is going to change the mode in which you're operating rather than actually doing anything.
Yeah, that's right. Although I'm looking, I'm going through here and I'm not seeing a test, and I'm not understanding that. Oh no.
Hey, Puddin. That guy, such a sense of timing.
I don't even see Pudding. Oh, Pudding must have said something very short. Is that true? And it's not
Yes.
showing up? Okay.
Very
Got
sure.
it. Oh yeah, there it is. Bonk. You bonked me. Okay, oh wait, here it is, right here. That's what I was looking for. So if the targeting mode is creatures. All right, cool. So, all right, so we've got a creatures test here. And we're going to set it back over to like, I don't know, sphere here in the off. And then I think I can, I think we can run. We can build and run. And let's see if that works. Let's go over to TaleSpire on the second machine, shutting it down.
Look at that. Real Surly is on point. He says, "Behold, P for pudding." And sure enough.
What's funny is he typed the exact same thing yesterday. I think this is part of his script. And it says,
I think
oh,
this
wait.
works better this time.
Wait, what'd you say?
This works better this time. I think it was
It's
a little
looking
bit
good.
less well formed yesterday.
Yeah,
This is looking.
Yeah, I don't mean to be critical, but I think you need about 2 more drones. 3, maybe, to make this P look good. You could take undefined process off of there and bring it up there a little bit. Now, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to like eat your bacon and then complain. But all right, so I want to do a rebuild. So that's the core. I want to rebuild the TaleSpire Explorer. Rebuild all succeeded. Switching to the TaleSpire machine, starting it up. So we're testing like a bunch of things. Do we see the cylinder? We might have to lift the cylinder up. There's a chance the cylinder doesn't appear like it works, but we don't see it because it's too far down. We might need to lift it up a bit so we can see it. We always need more of you, Pudding, says Surly Dev. I was talking to Karen. She's like, how are we going to get ready to move in like X days, where X days is less than 30? I'm like, look, can we just do like everybody packs 2 bags and we're out? Could that work? Minimum, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, all right, cool. So we're good. All right, so how are we doing? Are we loaded yet? By the way, I just... What's going on? Loading known effects. Uh-oh. This is where it's trying to go out to Google Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Google Sheets is like, nah. But remember, we added the code to call second time in case this bug hits. We
have some defensive code that will try once more.
Didn't work that time. Was the defensive code there or was it somewhere else? I wonder. Anyway, all right. So we've now turned that mode on. Now I'm going to hit the targeting button for my Stream Deck.
Ooh, things you did not want to see. Boom.
Starting it up again. Pudding's asking, how's everybody doing today?
I think we're doing pretty good. Well, we were up until that last graphic on screen.
Pudding says we need a U soon. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Look at those guys go. I think Surly, we should work on particle effects, integrating our particle system with the drones. So the drones can drop and leave particles behind them.
Oh, very nice, yes.
That would be cool. All right, let's see what we're doing now. Any better on this other try? We were expecting to see an error message, though, on the load, and I don't think we ended up seeing it. Remember, we had more error details that we added? Yeah. There, it's found it. So it worked that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's a kind of an API, Google API thing that like, I've seen times where if I like just rapidly hit it with like, give me more information. It's like, whoa, like that. It kind of does that. All right, so let's see what happens here. Turn on my flashlight. There you go. You can see the effect found. Puts it on. Good to go. I'm going to manually turn off my flashlight, but now I'm going to hit the button on the Stream Deck, which should turn it on and put us in this targeting mode, which allows me to click here. No, I hit the set button here. Oh, it kind of worked. See?
It did.
But it's
You
just a
can
little...
see it's just in there.
Yeah, because the middle one is higher than the others. So we need
That's
to
right.
lift it higher. So that means now if I come over here and hit the set button, nice. And this one, see that?
As a minimum viable product, that is pretty good.
That's not bad. And we can make this thing animated. We could get this to the next level where we're dropping in something, you know, we can make smoke, fire, all kinds of things come out. All right, so the first thing I want to do is let's make that, when we add that effect in targeting, where is it? Add target. Here, add target to nearest creature. Here's where we add it. And we've got a position option here, as well as the parent. And I'm kind of thinking, I guess we could build this right here.
I mean, we just want to add a little to the, or add or subtract, I'm not sure, a little to the Z.
Yeah. So we'll do this position, or base position, we'll call this maybe. That, do I have an NV3? Do I have V3 as I added? I did. So we're going to call this target position is equal to a new vector 3, passing in base position dot x. Use duplicate selection there, and then got to select that base position dot z. And I need Y to come up just a little bit.
Is it Y? I thought X and Y were on the plane.
Yeah, I
And
don't
Z
know.
was
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's look at how we're adding the cylinders. So the cylinder's in here, the Y offset is here. That's what's going on, the Y offset there. So we know that the Y offset of 0.2 is enough to bring that one up. So that's kind of, that brings up the middle one.
Okay.
And so
Must
what
be
we need to do is we need to bring everything up by about 3 times that. So 0.6. 0. Is it 0.06, isn't it? F, if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, because it's 0.02 there. So 3 times that will make the whole piece be visible. And now we're looking for setting in the target position, comma, the parent, like that.
Yep.
Target position. And that's the new position of the target disk. I think that's going to work.
Yeah.
Now, when do we remove those? Let's kind of go back over to TaleSpire again and let's take a look at this. So there I've got them. Oh yeah, look at that. They all kind of went up and you could see them all being added in that space there. Let's drag the little lock bar there. So now we've got these all here. What am I going to hit? In this targeting mode, we wouldn't have a sphere on us. And we set them. Maybe I want to have, instead of a set, but an add remove button. So I toggle.
It is a toggle. So it's you know, find the thing that's closest still, and then change its state to either be with or without target, depending on its current state.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. What do you think about that? So we need a toggle command. Include or exclude. Do you agree with that or no? Or do we want to just be like set and then clear? We could add clear as well.
You can, and I'm sure there'll be cases where that is useful. But how would you trigger clear? What's your UI?
Just a button on the Stream Deck.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking, let's say there's 5, 6, 7 people there. So you get, I've selected the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and now I make my mistake and select the 6th.
Yeah.
If I'm using clear, I have to just reset everything and go again.
No,
Whereas
clear. No,
also,
clear only clears the one closest to the target.
oh, it's a clear mode. I see. Yes.
Well, it's not really clear mode. It's just like you hit the clear button and whatever's closest to it finds it and removes it. So it's not targeted anymore.
As granular as the original ad was. So
Right.
that's good. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, clear. And then if I do cleanup, what happens on cleanup? Cleanup gets rid of this, keeps these other targets in place. So and then I've got a target off button as well. I'm trying to figure out the UI. That's kind of what's going on here is I'm looking at my Stream Deck and I'm looking at these buttons here. Let's just dock all of these guys here. And so I'm trying to figure this out. Do I have a clear button? Do I copy this, create a clear? Do I what do I want to have happen here? It's what I want is kind of what I'm looking at right there. So he's trying to get the P up there again, something.
When in doubt, I go with the minimum that can get the job done, because the fewer controls you have, the less brain power there is to know which control you should be using.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do with the icon. I've got a lot of icons that look alike here.
Yeah.
Let's find, where are we targeting? UI. Grab this one again for now. So I'm going to have set and clear, I think. And then the only other thing is what happens. I almost feel like I need a ready command kind of thing, where I say,
Right.
okay, all my targeting is done, ready, and what it does is it just turns off the flashlight piece of it, and it allows and waits for the attack kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. So if we add this, I've basically added two commands, clear and ready. I got to give this some thought because I don't like how all of these icons are so similar. But we'll go with what you suggest, Roy, minimum viable. That means over in our, I think, modding utils, we're expecting two new commands to be coming in, which, here, let's do this. Let's mark that, duplicate it, call this ready, and duplicate it one more time, and we're going to call this, what did I say it was? Clear? Like that. So we've got ready and clear that we need to add. There's ready, and there's clear. And then I think I need a clear all. Well, that could happen from cleanup.
Cleanup, yeah.
So cleanup is here. And so now what I think I want to add to cleanup here is I want to say, oh, and I've still got this guy. This is worrisome. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't work anymore. That doesn't work anymore. Hold on. I think.
What doesn't work anymore? What's the difficulty here?
This is this is a field variable, and this purpose was thinking there was only going to be one, but now there's going to be many of them. So what I think I need is something like this.
See, there's two ways I can think of to solve that. Either you just go with a flat list, and every time you make a new one, you just add it to that list, or you get a bit more fancy and you say, when you're adding something, you get to give it a key, a string key that sort of indicates the category that this thing will be in, and then you add it to a dictionary using that key in a list. So a dictionary of string to list, and that way you could say, I want to wipe just this key's worth of things.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to change this to a new list of game objects right there. Sorry, list of game object right like that. Target disk, set it equal to new list of game object like that. Call this target disks. And then we're going to add it down here like that. Okay. Then in my cleanup, this is no longer true. It's no longer a nullable thing. It's always going to have a value. For each game object in there, I'm going to call destroy on it. Then I'm going to call target disk.clear.
That's good.
That's not bad. Okay, let's go. What else are we doing with target disks? Oh, it looks like only in those spaces. Okay, so that looks like we've got cleanup working. Clear. Clear is similar to add target to nearest creature. Now we want essentially to remove target from nearest creature. So we're going to do, let's do one more thing in here. Let's say, what is this? This is an int. Okay, so I'll come in here. We're going to create a new int constant that's going to be max distance to nearest creature. We'll set that equal to 10. Put that there and put that here. Then we're going to get the nearest creature if the creature board asset is not equal to null. Then we need to go get, I'd say we go all the way down to the transform here, .game object, and we work with that one right there. So we're going to call that the base loader, like this, and then we're going to say base loader .get components in children. Look for all the transforms down in the children, like that.
Yep.
Running over to his mom's. All right. So those are my children. We're just going to call this children. Okay. And then I'm going to go through each one of those, and then I'm going to say, hey, if transform dot, whoops, I thought I said transform, had it on the clipboard. Transform dot game object dot name equals whatever the name is.
Target disk, was it?
Right there. If it's equal to that, then we can get out and we can say, we can make the call here, unity object destroy, right there on game object. And we're gone. I think that works.
Because we only expect to have one of them be there. So that's good.
Yes, we only expect to have one in there. I think that's all going to work. Remove target from nearest creature. All right, now that I have that, that's coming in clear.
Yep.
And in ready, I just need to say flashlight off, I think.
I think, yeah.
Maybe just call off from here. Double check that code. Just turn flashlight off. Sets targeting sphere to null. Okay. All right, we'll give that a shot. I'm going to, on the second machine, I'm going to close down TaleSpire. Come back over here, we'll build it. Rebuild all succeeded. Switching to TaleSpire machine. See if we get a good start this time without...
Yeah.
That onion says transform.oops. Got it? Did I say that?
That's
Transform.oops.
certainly possible.
Sounds like something I would say.
Okay, TaleSpire starting up now.
I was just reading in the chat room that Surly was moving undefined up because I was unhappy with the previous effort. Yes, dissatisfied. I expect more from you, Surly. Is this a game you created? It's a modification. So I'm creating it's a mod to TaleSpire. I'm basically adding it's a Dungeons and Dragons targeting UI system that I'm adding into the environment.
Yeah.
So, looks like we're at this stage before. I think we've seen this. Yeah, there it is right there. That's the call where it goes out to the Google spreadsheet. If it takes this long, our experience has been, sorry. Let's look at the errors. Did we get anything? Connection had failed because the connected party did not properly respond after a period of time, or established connection failed because the connected host has failed to respond. There it is right there. We see that there too. Sending the request. So there's something wrong sometimes about starting up. I'm going to stop this again and try again. I don't understand this. I almost feel
Google has spontaneously decided to ignore us. Just temporarily.
I almost feel like it's a that we might be blocking. There might be like a race condition or something like that, where maybe we're waiting and then we're blocking ourselves from getting it. I'm almost imagining that scenario. Like I'm thinking, okay, let's move this further away from the load. What'd you say, Rory?
It does feel more likely, as we said before, Google are pretty robust about such things. It's far more likely that we're just sort of getting in our own way here somehow.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So yeah, maybe moving it. Oh, is it happening again? It happens again, I think. Nope. We're good. Made it past all of that. Pieces are down. Now we're loading it, and it loads up instantly. Right there. We just go from there to there, and we're all cool. So I think moving it further away is maybe the key here. All right, let's test the new mode. So this is our button for turning the mode on, for enabling the mode. And now when I go and say, I think I do targeting there, and then I'm going to click on set, and that should target just that creature. Nice.
Oh, that looks so much better. Just that small raise up.
Yeah.
Placed it very well.
Yeah. And then so we can come over here to set, set, set. Nice. I love it. And then let me try clear, clear, clear. Yeah, they're individually clearing, individually setting. Works. It's nice and fast too. Right? I just have to move it somewhere nearby. Like if I'm here, let's see if I'm too far away. No, it works even from there. Let's clear it. How about from there?
So we said 10 units. So what's the 10 that we had in our const that represent? Is that 10 feet, 10 squares, 10?
It must be 10 squares. I was thinking it was 10 feet.
Okay.
Doesn't work from here. Doesn't work from there. Doesn't work from there. Works from there. Is that about 10 of those squares? It is. So I think that's too many squares, too many 5-foot blocks. I think that distance is so we need to do a conversion of feet, and I want it to be more in this space right in here. That's where I want it to be. Okay, but still,
principle's good though.
Workable. Now if I click on ready, good, that goes away, and these are still here. And now if I click on cleanup, they go away.
Look at that. Everything works. Okay, how did this happen? That's not normal for us.
All right, so now the size of those, wait, let's go back. Let's double check on the size of the targets. I think the targets are okay in terms of the size. I think that 70% we got, hold on, here we go. That looks like it's not bad.
I want almost perfectly within it.
Yeah, I want to get the ring on the outside of it though. Well, hold on a second. I got, TaleSpire is doing this weird thing where it brings the green cutoff bar down for me, and I don't quite understand why that's happening. Yeah, so let's say ready, so that goes away. Let me, if I take this and move them around, there you go. So you can barely see around the edge right there.
Sure.
That's the color, the faction color, whatever, right there. We need to drop the size of this. So that is Looks like I'm right on that line of code right here. So the percentage adjust, let's make it like 68.68, maybe 0.65. See how that looks. That's one of the changes we want to make. What was the other change we wanted to make? Let's go back and look at it carefully here.
Well, whilst you look at the minor adjustments as they really are to what's happening, I am afraid I'm going to have to leave you for today. And indeed, I'm not going to see you for about a week.
That's right. I'm going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking over at Dev Intersection next week, so we're not on next week, and I'll see you. What, the Tuesday after next Tuesday?
9 or 10 days from here. Yeah.
Roy, thanks so much for your help on this. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. And look at the success as well. The nice smooth interaction that you've got going on there. The literally the discs in place, the ease of use of being proximate to what you need to be, clearing everything down. It's all working great. So it's just a little bit of shiny polish that you're adding now before this feature is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks. Okay, we'll
talk
see
to
you
you
soon.
later.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you then.
Take care.
Bye.
That Onion's now following. Thanks for that follow, Onion. Appreciate it. I'm just making a few minor tweaks here. I'm going to take this to 0.5 right here, so I'm not lifting it up so high. We dropped the size of that base so that we can see the indicator ring around the outside. We have our cleanup. What else do we need? We need to know which characters are targeted. We need to know that. Which characters are individually targeted. Let's go figure that out. Let's go look at add target to nearest creature coming from set. Set should return our own specific API response, I think. I think it should. I'm thinking about this. Thinking about returning creature board asset here. So that tells us which is the nearest one that's been targeted. I'm thinking about also returning it here. Hold on a second, I want to report a code rush issue. All right. Devs, take a look at this. I'm in this block of code right here. I type in R space. It gives me return, and then it throws this down at the end of that. Look at that. That is not what I want R space to do. Instead, I want R space to give me a return, but then give me the ability to then keep what's on that line. So that's what I'm looking for right there, because I want to convert it to a function. Once it's a function, by the way, I think R space is going to behave differently. It behaves, that's how I want it to respond. I want R space to behave that way, even if it's a void function. So that's what I'm looking for there. Okay, so I want this down here. Return null there. Okay. The issue is we want R template to work in void procs. Put that out in the chat room. Okay. And now at this point, This now tells me which asset is set. And if that's not null, if that's a real thing, then I want to return an API response with that data. And do I have a parameter? I can send it a message and data. We're going to say success is our message, and our data is going to be something we need to do like a JSON convert on this. Serialize object. I don't know if I wanted to take the whole asset and serialize it though. I want to see how we're already responding and sending these out. Do we have any other good character positions we send out? I could send out a character position. That feels good. Get position. We need the ID. There's the world ID right there. And then I think I can do this, serialize that. What do I need here? ToString? Okay. And so that will now tell us what's been set if we send that, when we call the set command. So we should get something right back from it. That means then let's go to where that location is, because I kind of want to get a sense of that there was a successful change, and I want to change it inside the main UI as well. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I think, is that my main window? Yeah, I think it's right here. This is where I send the command over. And so now I want to do something like if targeting command is equal to set and response dot, what is it? Result is equal to success, then that means we've targeted creature. I want to know what creature got targeted. So that's going to be coming back from response.data, I think. And here we want to do a JSON convert dot deserialize object on it, pass in the data, and the type of that is character position. And if all of that works, what's wrong here? Data is, it's an object. Okay. We using data anywhere else yet? Okay, I think I used it wrong down in here. I just send in straight out the character position. I don't have to serialize it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, then I call get data on it later. Like this. Something like that. Okay, cool. And this time it's going to be just character position. Like that. And we say if not null, then we know this character was just successfully targeted in TaleSpire. I think I got an ID in here. So that means I can now go to my TaleSpire. No, I've got something internally in here, I think. Get character, get creature from TaleSpire ID. Now I can do that. Then we can say, hey, if that's not null, what can we do now? I think I want something like this, a method called target creature. We'll fill this out in a minute, but I'm going to have just some simple code for right now. Got a float player text command out here. Where is it? Where are you, float player text? In Hubtastic base station. Only called in these two places. It's expecting more hits. I think I've got something called show player status. Ticket Rory is gone. Your demeanor changes when he's not here. I think I probably get really, intense. Float player wait. What did I want to find? Let's see. I wanted to bring it here, and I wanted to say show status. Nope. I don't think that's it. Nope. I've got a cat in the room. Hold on one second, kids. Cat was in here. Cat has been removed. No, I was just saying the cat was in here and needed to be out, but it's already left. It found a way out. Yeah, okay. I guess we're just going to do this. We'll call it straight from here. Okay, back over in here. Can this all work? Gosh, this is driving me crazy because I feel like I absolutely had something called show player status. I haven't searched just for status. like this. Not here at all. Yeah, look at that. It shows state. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. All right, good. So my fill color. Outline color. And we're going to say for our message, maybe just the word targeted. And then now to change the target state, it depends on whether the creature is a player or not. I think for now we'll just put that out there, and then we'll change the targeted state later. I'm now going to go to my main window. This one, close this down. And over to TaleSpire machine and close that down over there. And rebuild. Rebuild all succeeded. Alright, let's start up the main window. Let's go to TaleSpire machine. Starting at TaleSpire. Too loud, Shirley? By the way, Shirley, check out the see if the sound is better. Check. Looks like the rum's a little loud. Check. All right. How'd we do? Looks like we loaded up the flashlight. Good. Let's switch our targeting mode so that we're picking characters one at a time, like we were doing before. And let's try it. Set. Hitting the set button. Nothing is happening. Oh wait, I have to turn targeting on. Sorry. Now hit the set button. There we go. Let's hit the ready button. I want to see what happens. Yeah, we can still see the circle around, so that's cool. I like it. Okay, go back into targeting again, and then the set mode. Set. Now, the one thing we're not seeing is any messaging on the main machine here. So let's make that so we can get some messaging in here. Let's do that. So let's see. For the main machine, I need to be targeting creatures that are NPCs. Right now, I think we only have one NPC. Let me hit clean up over here. I think we only have one NPC. Yeah, hold on a second. All right, so we're going to do this. Let's get here. Let's click on load creatures. So this is, we're going to bring in all the creatures and their world IDs. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, come back over to machine number 1. There's machine number 1 right there. Just got all of these world IDs here. Next, I need to go into my in-game creature spreadsheet. Here it is right here. So I've got Janus right there, but I don't have anybody else. And what I need to do is just add a few more people here, depending on what's out there. So we've got them here. Let's go back and see what characters we have by name. I don't have a name on these guys. Let's get River. Let's go find River and drop River, and then we'll know that's River for sure. All right, yeah, let's do that. All right, so River. That's River's world ID right there. So copy that. There's River right there. Okay, so River is there. Shanti. Is there. Apollo is here. So Shanti, Apollo, River, and Janus are all people that we can target. Let's go grab Janus and put him over on the TaleSpire board. There's Janus. So I've got Janus there. I've got Shanti right there. Where's River? River is right there. So these three we can target. And did I get Apollo? Apollo. There. So those four we can target right over there. Now, the next thing I need to do is put those guys up on the screen. So let's see, that's 1, there's Shanti, 3, 4, and 36 is Janus. Cool. So now I've got everybody on screen. So next, what I'm looking for now is when we go into that targeting mode, over in TaleSpire, turn on the targeting mode, go, and now we start targeting these. We should see something next to each one. So when I do this, I'm hoping to see some words or text show up there that says targeted. Nothing. Nothing is shown. Okay. That's too bad. All right. Let's see if we figure out why. I'm going to do this with, I think I'm going to solve this with breakpoints. So I'm going to close down the main window. I'm going to start it up again. I wonder if I needed to refresh, if that's all I needed to do. Let's set a breakpoint right here. Hopefully we're going to get to that breakpoint. So we're going to say run. Sorry to be clear, just saw that I have the wrong screen up and I closed down the app, so we're not going to be able to switch screens until the app starts up again. So basically I set a breakpoint in the TaleSpire target method. Okay, do I need, looks like I don't need to do any kind of sync. That's all working. Just move that to another screen. Let's go back over into the TaleSpire side of things. Locally here, we should still be in the correct set mode. So if I go and turn on start targeting and hit clear, I should be able to clear it. Yeah, clearing is working. Now let's try hitting set. And I got the breakpoint. And guess what? I'm just going to run it because I can't show you this until I stop the breakpoint. Okay, looks like we just switched over. I'm going to trigger the breakpoint one more time and then you'll see it. So I'm going to hit the set on Janus. All right, so let's see what we get here. Character position is coming back null off of response.getData. The message is success. Interesting. But the data is null. Okay, so the problem seems to be on the other side of the on the TaleSpire side of things. So that's happening inside modding utils. Let's get some debugable messages out here. So we'll see what the problem is down here. Can I just build this? To make me stop debugging. Fine. Rebuild all failed. I think it's because I probably got TaleSpire running on the other machine still. Shows it's okay. There we go. Rebuild all succeeded. Start it up again, I guess. All right, waiting for on machine 1, waiting for the app to start up. On machine 2, waiting for TaleSpire to finish loading. Let's go set up the characters that we are expecting to be on the board. We said it was 1, 3, 4, and was it 36? Yeah, cool. Remember those guys? All right, that's good news. Click this button to enable. Oh, and we lost the sphere. I think we'll be okay. We'll still be able to test it. Actually, it says targeting sphere found. I don't see that. I didn't see evidence of that. I feel like that's a restart. Oh, it's because of this. Try again. Moony Machine's out there. Hey, Moony Machine. Welcome to the show. How are we doing here? Working on creating a UI for TaleSpire. That looks correct. Right there. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do here. Turn that on. Good. Let's turn that off. Now hit the targeting button, and now try to set that player right there. Okay, now I want to see what's going on in the log. Asset found, character position found. That corresponds to this code right here. We're returning, oh, I see, my bad. I'm like, why didn't it work? Because I didn't do this. That's going to make a big difference. Okay, let's shut down TaleSpire. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need. Shut down my app here. Do rebuild. Rebuild all succeeded. Cool. Let's start this up. Switch over to the other machine. Start up TaleSpire. And both machines are churning butter. All right, I got a good feeling about this. What we're looking for Mooney, and anybody else who's just joined, we are looking for a message to show up next to the NPC that's being targeted. So, and I got to bring those NPCs up right now. I'm going to go do that now. So we need NPC 1, 3, 4, and 36. Those correspond to these 4 characters right here. I have to enable my targeting mode, which I'm doing right now by hitting this button, getting over here. That enables my picking one at a time targeting mode. And now I want to go in and say activate targeting and then come in and set here. There, look at that. Apollo is targeted. Now let's go over to the next one and hit set. Shanti targeted. Sweet. Yanu's targeted. And River targeted. That's sweet. All right, cool. Next, when I do the clear, we need to kind of undo this. And we actually need to change the targeting on these. But that's very cool that I can come in here now, target each one of those, and we see those. We want to actually add the targeting. That's what I'm going to do next. Okay, let's clean up. Cool. And let's switch back over to this machine. Mooney Machine says, great job. Great job, Mark. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Next, I need to get the targeting on here, and I forget how to do this in the code. We need to figure that out. So I think it goes like this. All in-game creatures.get. Does it by name? Suppose I could do that. Rather, there's a get by ID, I think is what I really want. I want to get by ID or get by something. Get by index, get by TaleSpire ID. I've got to get by creature. That's what I want. I want get by creature. And I want to see if I can find that. All right. If not null, then in-game creature dot is targeted is equal to true. Is that enough? I don't remember. Let's tap the next reference and see where this is set. Clear all targets. Get target count. Where do I set it to true? Toggle target. Update in-game creatures is needed. That's what I think is needed to let that know. So what we need to do is do something like this. Add block delimiters, update in-game creatures. Cool. Now at this point down here, we know that this creature is not an in-game creature. It could be a player. So we need to do something like this. What is it? All players. .get from ID, and we're going to say creature dot. Don't I have an int ID? That's it. I think that's what I want. Like that. That's going to give me my player. And if that's not null, then I want to say player dot, do I have an is targeted here? Shoot, it's none of these. How do I target a player? I'm not even remembering this. Oh, it's in another data structure. It's in character stats, I think. Is that right? All player stats. dot get player stats, and we're going to pass in this. There's mine is targeted right there. All right, now what happens here? What do we do? What's our update call? Update player stats in game. Okay. And then we show the state. Targeted. Okay. I think that's enough. Let's see if that works. Close this down. Close down on the TaleSpire side of things. Close down that. Come in here. Let's do a rebuild all. We should add one more player to that group, and that's Fred or myself as well. So we can target those folks and see their messages show up and make sure their targeting is working. Rebuild all succeeded. Okay, we hit run. Here, start up TaleSpire. We'll include Fred in that mix. Because I'm restarting, I'm going to have to re-add these pieces up here. As soon as that gets up, I'll do that. Okay, TaleSpire starting up. All right, this is cool. Still got this clunky kind of thing going on here, but it's not too bad. Let's go get our NPCs on screen. And we need Fred. Well, Fred's actually already on screen right over there. It's everybody. We just need to drop Fred into space here. Okay, there's Fred. All right, let's enable our targeting. There it is. Let's set. Nice, and look, Fred says targeted and he's targeted. Let's come over here, hit set. Apollo's targeted now too. Sweet. Janus is targeted. Nice. And let's try clearing. I don't know if clearing's gonna work. I think clearing is not working. Yeah, clearing works here in TaleSpire, but it's not working here. Oh, really? Is that because I hit clear maybe twice and there was nothing to clear? I heard yesterday that you were in Costa Rica. Yeah, I am in Costa Rica. We're actually looking to move to Valencia soon. We're looking at going to Valencia, Spain. Kind of exciting. I think it'll be good for the kids too. Kind of like give them this Here's this part of the world. Here's this part of the world now. All right, let's switch back to the code over here. I need to put some protection code in. So I want to go down to, because we had the crash, I want to protect that and stop that. So modding utils here. I think it was in the set call. Oh man, all of these squiggly lines, not happy about them. At any rate, we're gonna catch that exception. If there is anything in this space, we're gonna go report it back out, see what our problem is. Anything else I need to do? Well, in clear, we need to do the same thing. I think I want to create an extension method, is what I think I want to do. Down here in the core, I want to be able to make a call on any creature board asset and say, give me a character position. Character position's down here. It's just got the name, the ID, position, flying altitude, the essence, the core of what I need. So I've got this TaleSpire extensions right here. Oh, look, I've already got one. It's exactly what I want. Creature asset. Oh, this just flat out builds it. Okay, that's fine. Does this do the same, this call to minis.getPosition? It does. All right. So what we want to do is do this. That's what we want, get character position, like that. All right. And I think I'm going to copy all this for now. And essentially put the whole thing in my clear as well, because we basically need to know the same thing on the clear. All right, let's go look at clear. And this is going to return a creature board asset. Okay, So we'll return the creature board asset from that place. Otherwise, we're going to come down here. Are we saying return null here or returning? I think we might just be calling return creature board asset here as well. Yeah, no matter what. Have you worked much in Unity? Ask Mooney. No, I'm going to say not really. Just, you know, a little bit this year. Started learning it with my son on a show we do called Kids Code here on the same channel. We do that. We're going to do that tomorrow. All right, so there's my clear right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we learned it there, and I know enough about it that I can kind of work my way through it. So that's kind of what's happening. All right, now let's close down, do a rebuild. When I get the clear coming back, now I want to go to my main window. And target creature. Did you write Code Rush? Yeah, I did. I wrote like first version, second version. Now I don't really write Code Rush so much as I just spec things out in Code Rush. Oh, look at this. Performance issue. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. Hold on a second. Don't go away. Issue start. All right, devs, take a look at this. Potential performance issue has been detected. You can send in diagnostics data so we can investigate the cause of the issue and help you get a fix. Yes, I would like to participate in that. I didn't notice the performance issue, though. Roll back the clock. I was just writing code, and all of a sudden, I did an extract method and named the method, and all of a sudden we had this issue come up. I'm going to say yes. Oh, looks like I've got the user account control coming up. Asking if I want to let this make changes. I said it made yes to that. That's kind of where we are. Issue, perf issue. Perf issue? Here's your log file, kids. I wonder if I can close the chat window here and then reopen the chat window and have it draw itself correctly. That did work. Good. That tool is amazing. Hey, we're working on really cool stuff, by the way, Hector. Thank you for that. We're working on really cool stuff coming up with Code Rush that I expect to come out in the next maybe 45, 50 days. It's gonna, you're gonna see brand new features no other IDE has yet, and I think it's going to blow your mind in terms of making navigation faster, easier, and invoking commands and actions much faster and easier. I think you're going to be like, okay, cool, I'm experiencing a new level of productivity. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so let's see, I reported that issue there. We've got two methods of the same name. They're just having different parameters here. So target creature, that does this. And I think what I really want to do is change this to set creature target. And I want to add a new parameter to it. Wait, let's do this. Hold on. Let's do that. Introduce a constant for all, local constant for all instances of true. Let's see if that'll work just for these two. It didn't. So it thought local was just inside the braces. All right, fine. No worries. I'm just going to do this. There's a TaleSpire source out there. It is not. Oh yeah, you should have been here like 2 weeks ago. it was failure after failure after failure trying to break in and get it. Then finally we had some success. We ended up creating our own. I'll give you a tour of what we can do inside of it. So target creature here. I think I want to do the same thing here. Sorry, hold on. I want to place that with this. Target creature, add a new parameter here. There. True here. Now what I want to do is kind of do this. If the response is success, if it's set, we're going to do this. Else, if it's clear, if the target command is clear, then we're going to set it to false, like that. And the response is going to say who was the target. That should clear now the target. So all of you see all the targets here, Fred and everybody up above has a target icon in them. We're hoping now in the next test that all of those go away. Yeah, so reflection, I'll give you a tour of what we can do momentarily. I think that's all I need to do. Maybe clean this code up a little bit. All right, let's do a rebuild. Rebuild all successful. Start on my TaleSpire machine, starting it up. Yeah, we're basically using reflection plus knowledge of how Unity structures the game objects in the game. And so there's knowledge of both reflection and Unity that leads us to be able to do the things that we are doing on it. Here's TaleSpire. Let's get it started up and loaded. It's loading up all the assets. So one of the things we're doing that's very cool is we're injecting assets into the game. I'll show you a little bit about that. Give you a little show and tell. Let's raise up our camera. Let's come out over here. So we built the Form Explorer. So are these mods that will only work locally? I assume they're just local mods that aren't really networked. That's correct. They're not networked yet. I'm not sure if I am going to do it. The reason why is because I'm creating the mods for a Dungeons & Dragons live stream, so they only have to work locally. They only have to work locally. So all the effects, everything you're seeing, if you were playing a game and you were joining in TaleSpire, would only work on this one machine. The name tags, high control. All right. So this is the first piece we built right here, which is just kind of this explorer. It gives us the ability to listen to events. So like, for example, I can turn that on and then maybe pick something up and move it and then come back over and see what events are triggered by that, for example. So we have the ability to hook into all of those events. I can also say, for example, let's set the time of day. Let's set the sun position. Let's change mode from spectator to player. I can add effects. I can list effects out. I can turn on the flashlight, turn off the flashlight. I can track the flashlight, see where it is. I can also come in here to the prefabs and I can say, let's grab a prefab effect here. And there you can see just a little bit of it as it was going away. Then I can kind of go through the prefabs that we've put in here. And there you can see them. And so they're designed to like be associated with magic effects and things like that. So these aren't being connected yet to magic effects, but they will be. That's kind of what's going on there. So just kind of different magic effects there. There you see, even what's cool is you can even do camera shakes and things like that. So that's kind of a little bit about how we got in. The second piece we built, that's a pretty cool piece of technology. It's not bad. It's crude, but not bad, is the effect editor, which allows us to grab a prefab and put it somewhere. So I'll do the fire tornado here. Now when I add that prefab, it finds it, and then it's going to stick it out here. Like that. So there's the fire tornado. Looks like my water level needs to drop down a little bit. There it is. So there's that effect. And what's cool about this is that we built our own property editor over here. So we can come in here and we can say, well, let's turn this off and turn it back on. And okay, there's something called Robot Kyle in here. I don't think that's supposed to belong. I think that was from the demo. Let's see, fire projector. Can't quite see what that's doing. Point light. There you go. You can see the light turned off right down there. The rocks. The little rocks around the bottom. That's what we're talking about there. That's actually a cool effect. Those are cool. So I can turn off those rocks. I've got 2 different rocks there. Like that. Get the fire core. Go find its material. What do I got? I got a tint color on it, but it's just white, so that's probably not what I want to modify. We could try it. But usually I find that if something is white, it's not the piece I want to make changes to. What do I got in color? Color's black for material. What is the fire core? I don't even see it. So fire tornado is really more interesting. I'm not sure what fire core is. Let's go look at fire tornado. There we go. And so now I can change the color of the fire, for example. Make it darker or lighter. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on there. So we can kind of modify the effects, go in there, and then once those are done, we've got some JSON off to the side, and we can go save this as its own effect by name, and then call it later and bring that effect in. So, kind of cool. And this is built with reflection, essentially. The whole property editor is built with reflection, and yeah, that's kind of what it is. University says, I've got a lot of Unity and game dev experience, but I don't have a traditional CS degree or a lot of other experience outside of making games. I've always been curious about how one would go about hacking and modding a game that I were to put out there. Well, the cool thing is, there's something out here called Bepinex. Bepinex, I think is what it is. And switch back over to my main machine here. Go up here and see if I can get you a link. This is excellent for hooking into Unity games. Right there. That's it right there. And so that's what we're using to kind of get in. So not too bad. All right, so let's go back to our test piece here. We'll go ahead and close this down. We don't need this. We can just delete all of that. And get back down out of here. And I need to click this button to turn on my individual toggling mode. Because right now I don't have another button to do it. And what can I do here? Let's, I think, do that button. And then now turn on targeting. And now, oh wait, I've got to go add all of these guys. So I think it's 1, 3, 4, 36. Fred's still showing targeted, but he's not actually targeted. I'm going to go just toggle that real quickly so he's no longer targeted. All right, cool. Now, what we're expecting to do is as I go through and click on each one of these guys or hit the button on each one of these guys, what I'm looking to see is that they become targeted, and you're going to see a little icon like the target show up in their base. All I have to do is get close and hit the button. So I'm going to do this right now to target Fred. Cool. And now you see Fred, the player, is targeted. The words targeted come up, and the target is right there, which is very cool. So we've got this kind of two-way communication going between TaleSpire and the D&D engine and the overlays that are going to be used for the Dungeons & Dragons live stream. Come over here, hit the button to set. Okay, now Apollo's set, and this guy I think is Shanti, so we'll do that. And yeah, Shanti's targeted. Now I want to test the clear next, so here comes the clear. Did not clear Shanti up there. I was expecting that to happen. So when I clear these guys, they are not being cleared. Yeah, that's the show, Dragon Humpers. But we are not actually going to be broadcasting next week because I'll be in at Dev Intersection. So just looking for that clear to work. Not sure why that's not working. Let's see if we can figure that out. We are running. I want to set a breakpoint. Let's see, let me show you my screen so you can see it. I'm going to set a breakpoint here. And I'm going to now go hit the set button. And we're in the breakpoint. I'm going to run. And then I'm going to now clear Janus. I'm hitting the clear button now. Good. At the breakpoint. Let's see why it's not working. The character position isn't stored on the way back. All right. Let's go look at why. Well, I ought to get a cup of coffee and get back to work. I've reinvigorated you, Mooney. Great. Have a great day. Keep rocking and rolling. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Move creature closest to. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no matter what, remove target from nearest creature should return the creature board asset. And again, it returns it from here. And it puts it here. Calls get character position on it, which should work. And we return this. I don't like that the code looks like it's going to work. I guess we're going to have to send out some debug messages, I guess. I really was hoping that we would be smart enough to figure out what's wrong or different about this clear. It would fail or be different. Yeah, it all looks good. Let's double check it one more time. This simply returns what we get when we call this. We get it. If this fails, we don't do any of this other code, but this code actually comes in and finds the target disk and destroys it. Returning creature board asset. Oh, wait, is it target to nearest creature? Oops. No, it's the same. It's the same type. I was thinking, I had hope for a second. Oh wait, are we returning the wrong type? Yeah, it all looks good. I almost feel like if we rebuild it, it's just going to work because the code does look right to me. Let's close down on TaleSpire side. Done. Close down on this side. Rebuild. I wonder if there's a chance it just didn't send it over because I rebuilt from here as opposed to rebuilding from here. Would that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. All right, let's hit run. The target mechanism, though, in general, is much better than the target mechanism we had inside of our UI. Okay, Fred's no longer targeted. Let's get the characters in. TaleSpire, let's load up. Get TaleSpire going here. Okay. All right, targeting mode, set is not doing anything now. Not seeing anything in there. It's like it's acting as if the mode isn't right. That changes the mode right there. Let's try again. Targeting mode. Now hitting targeting mode's not doing anything. Oh. I've got a breakpoint on the other machine. That's what's going on. So we're totally locked up. All right, let's clear the breakpoint and run. Yeah, that I kind of would expect. Try one more time. So watch for breakpoints on the other machine. That's my lesson learned. Got a breakpoint on the other machine. I don't know if I can, I don't think I can switch to it here once I start running. Okay, I just fixed it. Now that I've fixed it, you can switch the machine, you can see it. Basically, this was coming back null for some of the commands, and I've just fixed it, so if it's null, we're out. Okay. How are we doing now? All right, now try again. Targeting mode, go. Now set. Good, Fred's targeted. Now try to clear Fred. Yeah, the code works. He's now cleared. It was like just we didn't. Now I can go through and set each one of these. Now everybody's targeted. Now clear each one individually. Clear, 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 and clear. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, and that's a show, kids. We've now got this kind of successful individual interactive targeting, so we can go down and target, and players can look and see, yeah, those are the 3 I'm targeting for this attack, or we can do an area of effect attack to some degree. We're still working on that, but we have the ability to kind of change the size of the sphere for different spells that are out there, depending on what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be firing out there. Cool. That's it. Let's get a raid going. Send you out to, we'll send you to Bald Bearded Builder. He's going to take care of you guys. And thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you, I think, tomorrow with Kids Code.